PJ Lindsay, I think I'm with everyone else in the same boat where I get tired of the same way of researching my travel plans or my own bucket list of places to hit. So, are there better ways to come up with your way of traveling, maybe for the season or what have you?
Google?
No, like maybe a theme.
Yes, I hate the question. Where would you like to go this
figure
year?
out where you were going with that.
Traveling, hopefully.
Somewhere else.
Somewhere.
Yeah, so instead of just Google, maybe if you start your Google search with a theme.
Themed travel.
Yeah.
Well, we do themed parties.
And it doesn't even have to be for like, this summer is my summer of such and such. Totally, this will work for that. But maybe it's even your way of traveling for the next few years. It's like in the next 5 years, I want to kind of have something that helps guide my travel research.
Are we talking about like, I know people that have said, I'm going to visit every national park.
Yeah, something along those lines.
But then I also know people that said, I'm going to visit every Cracker Barrel.
Yeah, which...
That's a lot of Cracker Barrels.
That's a lot of Cracker
And
Barrels,
they keep
right?
adding them. They add more Cracker Barrels more quickly than they do national parks.
Oh, that is true.
Very true.
Statistically speaking.
I've looked it up.
And probably almost just as many people camp there.
So I think I just came up with this. I'm going to plan a trip across the country that's just all the world's largest things.
That's going to get awkward in a few moments.
World's largest.
Yeah.
I found out actually a few days ago that the world's largest spur is a few miles from my house, and I've never seen it.
Spur?
Did you know it's in Lampasas, Texas?
It would be.
Yes, the world's largest spur. Like a spur that cowboys have.
I know what a spur is. I'm just flabbergasted.
Yes. Well, let's see if we can explore some different ideas, maybe some cool themes that would be a nice trip adventure.
Absolutely. And welcome to the RV Small Talk podcast, where we talk about lightweight trailers, truck campers, and people, places, and adventures that go right along with them. We are your hosts from Princess Craft RV. I'm Clint.
I'm Lindsay.
And I'm PJ. Thank you so much for joining us today. Let's talk about how to plan some cool adventures.
Yeah. So here's what got me started on this. I obviously like to have like a thing that I am looking forward to that is attached to the camping. So camping is a means to an end. It really is not just camping. Like when I go with my family to Colorado, it's so that we're not just in the mountains camping, but the little secret sauce on that is I get to once every other year try my hand at fly fishing or something like that.
I think everybody does some of that. I mean, sometimes it's just like...
I don't.
Yeah, you do. I just want to get away, and I want the kids to be able to run and climb the rocks and have fun. I mean, you have a focus in mind when you go camping to some degree.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's just seeing what it's like.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just want to see what it's like. But there are those other things that you can add in that I think create an adventure.
Right.
I mean, they turn it from camping to an adventure,
and,
like fly fishing, like learning how to do something, or I want to hike that Niner, or I want to do, I mean, there's something that you want to do.
And I think that and that's another one that didn't even make our list is climbing specific peaks and all that. That'd be a great list. I think a lot of people do that. But if it's too general a list, then it actually doesn't inform the research and the reservation making process. If it's just, I want to go camping, then that's not specific enough to move me sometimes. Sometimes I need something that is more themed.
Well, most people say, where do you want to go this summer?
Yeah.
You know, where do you want to go camping this summer? Well, let's go to Yellowstone. Let's go to Glacier. Let's go up and see the leaves change. You have something in mind to see or do to plan your adventure. I think we wanted to think of something that was a little bit different. Maybe there's other twists and other ideas.
Yes.
And we came up with some interesting ones, I think.
Like I can think of little towns around here that should have a festival and they don't. Like I think San Marcos should have a cricket festival.
What?
because they every
Gross.
year have so many crickets.
It's just like a person dressed up as a cricket, just
yeah.
like playing the violin.
Absolutely.
Well, we do have a lot of interesting festivals, like right here. I think every location does.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got oatmeal festivals. We
Which-
have watermelon.
I was about to
thumbs.
say watermelon.
Oh, yeah.
We have.
Absolutely. Oatmeal is actually a town in Texas. My
Yes.
grandfather used to actually organize the Oatmeal Festival. Every year.
Really?
Absolutely. And so I would go as a kid, and they have like a biplane flyover dumping oatmeal out on the,
Oh
on
my
the
gosh.
crowds and all
Oh
that.
my gosh.
What?
Yeah, absolutely.
And
My grandfather-
oatmeal's not. It's 20 minutes from where I live.
It's 20 minutes from you live, and it has a population of, I think, 3 until the festival. It's a tiny little
is a
place.
nothing
yeah,
town.
Yeah, and then you're right.
but it
Luling,
still has a sign.
it absolutely does. And it's a huge oatmeal. It's like a 3-minute oatmeal container, but it's
Packet.
huge. And then you're right. The watermelon thump in Luling. And they have parades, a whole week of events, and they have a thump queen.
That town just stinks.
It smells like money.
Yes.
That's what I always heard growing up.
Town
It smells
just
like money
stinks.
because there's so many inside city limits oil pumps.
Hey, maybe we
that's right.
should do a podcast that's literally just like weird festivals that we found, and then you
Yeah.
could go camping there. You could take a trip
Wow.
to
I
like it.
the weird festivals, because Texas has a lot of weird ones, but I bet you
We can't have
America has a
Yeah.
lot of weird ones.
Because those are both within an hour of here. So,
Right.
and there's more. We didn't cover them all.
Oh, no.
So, I
oh no,
can't
that's all of
imagine-
them in Texas. Those two.
Oh no, it's
Right.
not. Texas is right here.
Texas.
We are in the center of
It's the only
Texas.
festivals we have here.
But I know that everybody listening is saying, "Oh yeah, we've got this festival,
Heck
that
yes.
festival."
Oh,
I mean,
let's-
we wanna
let's get a
hear
list going.
The crazy ones. Let's start a list of crazy festivals.
I like it.
All right.
Lindsay, you want to pilot the research on that one?
Yeah, I got
All right,
it.
Cool. All right. So, what did we come up for this episode to help us think
Do
of
we
our-
need to put out? Wait. Do we need
What?
to just tell everybody Lindsay's email so they can send her the cool festival they know about?
Lindsay at princesscraft.com. See if you know how to spell my name.
I mean, there's only 3 spellings under the sun, right?
If you know of a crazy festival, you could always send it to RV Small Talk.
Info. No, it
Yeah.
isn't. I'm sorry. It's questions. At
Questions at rvsmalltalk.com.
Yep.
Tell me about your weird festival. I'll put together a podcast. It'll be fun.
Yep. Okay. So,
Okay, now
whoa,
go.
whoa. Do that again.
wait. So,
Yep.
to this episode and what we actually put together. All right. So, what interests or affinities do you have that could turn into a full summer of exploring?
Food.
Okay, let's start
Food's
there.
the most obvious, don't you think?
Let's chew on that one.
Well, food.
Wouldn't you just pick best restaurants?
Or
Oh my gosh, that would be
yeah. See,
that
it's
would
just
be-
But
way
what
way
is
too
best
much.
restaurants?
okay.
Yeah.
Well,
But there's-
barbecue for one.
No, you can't start with that. You start with Applebee's and you work your way down.
Oh no!
I mean, barbecue road trips are nothing new.
No, but
I mean,
they are.
everybody from the day tripper to the
Yeah.
Food Network to the magazines, everybody has
Yep.
their barbecue trail.
Mm-hmm.
So why not get on the barbecue
So there's
wagon?
barbecue trails that are state based
Right.
or region based because barbecues can be very regional and all
It's
that.
so different across the country.
Yeah.
So you can't travel across the country in your
Why
1 or
not?
2 week road trip. I mean, that's kind of hard.
1 or 2 weeks, you can totally do it.
All the way across the country for barbecue.
Yeah, but like
I mean, you're.
there's no good barbecue in like Florida.
Whoa! I think we just
Florida.
pissed
Is
off
there?
Florida. Okay.
Florida. Let me go ahead and give you Lindsay's email.
Is there good barbecue in?
Yes.
I'm trying to
Just
think
say
of
yes.
another state,
Yes.
but
Yes.
it's not like known for it.
Well, Midwest barbecue is very different.
Right, but if you're taking a barbecue road trip, are you going to go to Florida?
Okay. So check
I don't
this
know.
out. I found a website that says the 41 American barbecue joints you need to try right now. It's so easy to search these lists.
Right now?
Right now.
Right now?
Well, it is.
All 41 right now.
Right now.
Is it
Can I-
lunchtime
how
yet?
many can I Uber Eats right now?
in Central Standard Time. It is 11:13 in the morning. So yes, right now.
Ooh, almost lunchtime.
Okay, so this list I got from thethrillist.com, and I'm going to put these in the show notes, but it's 41 American barbecue joints you need to try right now. And I think,
Which one has the best name?
well, I didn't print the whole list because that's a lot of paper. 17th Street Barbecue in, look at the name of that town, Murfreesboro, Illinois.
Okay, so Illinois, probably like some Kentucky.
Midwest, you thinking?
Midwest. Yeah. Illinois likes to eat.
Okay. Well, here's another one, Beast Craft Barbecue in Belleville, Illinois. Maybe this all starts with Illinois. Oh, here we go. Big Bob Gibson Barbecue in Decatur, Alabama, or Blood Brothers Barbecue in Houston, Texas. I mean, so I'm just barely scratching the surface. It is so easy to create a barbecue tour.
Even if it's a region, I think you could do it.
Yeah.
Like
So-
even if you were in Texas.
How many days do you think you could eat barbecue before you officially said, I don't want barbecue anymore?
Okay.
Not forever.
Here's what I
obviously,
can
but,
tell
like,
you. We
How many
spent
days?
8 days in Maine. And you've heard about my trip. 8 days in Maine. And our goal was to eat a lobster roll every day. Some days we ate lobster rolls twice because we happened to be in the right place and we had them
Yeah.
on our list.
And they can be very different.
And that was when lobster was coming in, whatever it was. That's when we did it. And it was amazing. And I was not tired of lobster rolls at the end.
And they use
I
a
will
different
just tell
garlic
you.
butter on all of them.
They're all different, and everybody's was the best.
Garlic
Everybody's
plus
was
butter.
the best. Garlic and butter, and then some were mayonnaise, and then some were nothing, and
you say
some were a secret sauce.
Romanese?
And it, were
Did not
mayonnaise.
say
I did not
romanese.
say romanese, but it could be.
So, Clint, how many
everybody
days
does
do
it
you think
different.
you could eat barbecue without saying, I'm
I
done?
love this question because I have a fairly wide scope of what barbecue is, because I can do the Texas barbecue scene.
I'm not
easily.
getting a straight answer, am I?
No,
I wanted
because-
like
No.
5.
If I'm doing a barbecue tour, then I'm doing some what I'm used to here in Texas, but also some Midwest, some St. Louis or something like that, where it is different. And then you head up northeast or anywhere, it is different. And then if I want to change it up, hello,
Florida barbecue.
well, yeah, because you better believe the Cubans down there know their way of doing barbecue. No, I want to try it, but also Mexican barbacoa. There's so many ways to do it. Barbecue is a thing worldwide. I can do
And
this.
it's kind of like saying, how many dinners in a row can you have meat?
Exactly.
it's not like that at
because you
all.
can
Yes.
barbecue
Yes.
meat. If it's meat, you can
But
barbecue.
all barbecue things have that barbecue that smoke flame.
No, they
taste.
don't. They're all different.
Good try.
Oh my gosh, y'all. Okay, speaking of seafood, move on to your seafood
Speaking of
list.
seafood, were we speaking of seafood?
Your lobster rolls.
Okay, yes, because I also had on this. Thank you. Good segue. It hurt a little bit on the transmission, but we got switched. Okay, so you were talking about lobster rolls, and that fed into this other one.
Oh my goodness.
That was a seafood trip, because I loved when I was younger, and I took a train trip with my dad and sister, stepmom, and all that around the U.S. one summer. One of my biggest moments was clam chowder in a sourdough bowl on the pier in San Francisco.
Oh my goodness.
And I totally did not ever eat
Lindsay
clam
looks-
chowder before this, but the experience informed my thoughts on this particular entry on the list. I could do a seafood trip.
Absolutely. I will tell
Easy.
you, if I am traveling on the coast or if I go down to the coast for a camping trip, a vacation, whatever it is, my goal is to eat as much seafood as I can.
Because you're by the coast, and
you're
that's
by
where you
the
can get it
coast.
fresh.
Yes, and I love seafood. So that is always on my hit list, but I've never really thought about having a goal of
Planning
hitting
around
all
it.
the best seafood places. I've
Right.
never, except for Maine. That was when we were traveling up and down Maine. That was one of our goals. And I
Yeah.
don't know, maybe because lobster rolls have such bragging rights, we had to see what it was all
Particularly in that neck of the woods,
Yes.
right?
Can you
Yes.
real quick just explain to me what the heck is a lobster roll? Do they take a lobster and flatten it out and then roll it up?
No, it is a piece of bread of varying kinds and sizes and densities and flavor. And they open it up and put pieces of lobster in it and make it a sandwich. So that's what a lobster roll is.
That's your foundation. But
Then you can put different things
So
on
it's
it.
sandwich style. I
It's-
thought they rolled
yes.
a lobster.
Yeah. Well, it's like a roll.
They mugged him and then they rolled him.
Yeah, it's like bread that's designated as rolls.
Got it.
Yes.
So
That kind of roll.
I do have on here, and I'm going to again share everything that we have in the show notes. But seafood I have from the website vacationidea.com. Restaurants, it's the best seafood restaurants in the USA. So, and can I throw in Cajun right after that?
Well, you can always throw in Cajun,
Because-
but I could not eat 7 days of Cajun. Shoot me.
Stomach.
Couldn't do it.
Okay,
Could not do it.
Fair enough. I get that. But I'm in.
I get your point,
But you could do it.
You're wrong.
I'll go for lobster rolls. You can have Cajun. But, I could hang out in New
Yeah.
Orleans for a week
Yeah.
and do everything else. I just could not eat Cajun. So I just don't. There's nothing about Cajun that just wows me.
No, really?
No.
Not the
No.
the spice profile.
I
that they
like
use?
the flavoring of it. I don't like the seafood part
How
of
would
it.
you
But
just-
there's still plenty to eat Cajun
Yeah.
food that doesn't have seafood.
How would you describe Cajun flavoring? Because
It's-
I have a way of describing it, and it's maybe not that flattering, but I think it's still fair.
I don't
Dry
know. It's
rub
like
with hot sauce.
bold and spicy, and
Mm-hmm.
it's like I don't know.
Okay, so I would say bold, spicy.
Obviously, you've thought about this.
Yeah, I'd say bold and spicy, but also because a lot of it, I mean, it's real close to the earth kind of cooking.
Mm-hmm.
It always tastes, in a good way,
Dirty.
dirty.
Yeah.
Yes.
You get your
I bet there's a spice that's in
crawfish,
it.
and
that's,
there's just something to it, and
I just don't know what it is.
and once you commit, it's wonderful.
Yeah.
you just have to
Kind of
commit.
like crab boil. Crab boil always tastes a little dirty to me.
Yeah, or
But maybe something's in it that tastes that way.
crawfish or something like that along those lines.
Okay,
the
well,
heck are y'all
I
talking
think we
about?
need to jump to the next line that was
yeah.
under this food thing, because as long as I have wine with my Cajun food,
Okay,
I probably could do it 7 nights a week.
could you remember it 7 nights a week?
Well, that is not, I don't have to write a summary or review it. I just have to experience.
So I feel like this has become really popular over the past few years. Winery tours,
Yeah.
breweries, distilleries, like making a whole trip planned around going to see those things.
And it's become
Like-
easier in the past few years because of a certain
Harvest Host?
exactly.
Yay.
Which is only
Harvest Fest.
growing and is done so well at serving the people, the community of RVers and people who are.
It brought them together.
I don't know that I can say enough about what I hear. I mean, the good
Yeah.
things I hear from people
That's
who
true.
take advantage of Harvest
Yeah, have you
Host.
actually ever harvest hosted?
No.
Harvested
I haven't.
the host?
I haven't.
Me neither. Have
one
you?
Reason
I haven't, because I haven't gotten the membership.
Yeah.
But I keep planning to.
I just don't know if I would use it.
Well, I know that I personally, in this time period of my life, won't because my family, we to be honest, y'all, we don't drink much wine,
Well, I know
and
that.
we don't do much distillery stuff. We
And
just
you
don't.
have 2 kids,
And I have
and
2
that's
kids.
not
Yeah,
on
that's
your
the thing.
list.
It's like trying to
And-
camp at a winery with 2 kids. That's not what it's all about.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, the reports I get back from those who do take advantages of this is unreal. And even if you don't go for the wine or the distillery, the locations are typically superb. But
Yes.
you typically also need a self-contained unit, at which mine is not.
There's also other things besides distilleries and wineries that belong to Harvest
Yeah,
Host.
they
we
have
need to say that too.
farms and farms.
And then farms.
Places where they grow animals and crops.
Maybe that's another way to plan a trip. You just plan Harvest Host drop-offs, because that would be kind of fun. It's a different kind of camping.
Oh, I'm sure a lot of people
Yeah, a
have done
lot of
that.
people could do that.
Okay, very good. So I
Okay,
looked
what
up
if you didn't want to eat or drink?
Oh.
What the heck is wrong with you?
Well, I mean, eat or drink as a focus. Okay.
Very bold.
Very
It's just
bold.
like she's like intermittent.
Why are you even camping?
What if you love your sodas in a can and your sandwiches in the fridge?
So I thought you were maybe going even one further than that, like super like when I camp and travel.
You just don't eat.
It's I consider that entire time period intermittent fasting.
Oh, bad idea.
No. It is time to do just the opposite. Eat all the things.
We like every occupant of the tow vehicle hangry.
Me hangry in a seat traveling. Bad combination.
So we found one trip that actually, I don't know, seems really fun to me.
Did this one speak to your heart?
Yeah, I don't know, fun. Famous movie locations.
Wow.
So
I would love that.
Of course, this list has one from every state, but I mean, there's lots more than just one in each state.
Right.
Yes.
The Rocky.
Naturally.
In Pennsylvania, the steps.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Is that a federal building?
Yeah, it's a government
know what it
building of
is.
some kind.
It's a building with a lot of steps.
But how fun to run the Rocky Steps, right?
Okay, but in Alaska, which I'm not sure how I feel about this, but in Alaska, you can go see the bus that the guy from Into the Wild died in.
Yeah, the real
No.
bus. Yeah.
No. I know how I feel
They
about that. No.
airlifted it up out of the middle of nowhere and took it to a museum. So now you can go visit it.
Wow.
Which
No. I still didn't even. I had. Anyway, moving on.
it's just such a crazy.
Can
Well,
you-
what about something fun?
Yeah,
I mean,
like-
like Gone with the Wind or something.
or Field of Dreams.
The Birds?
Yes.
Alfred Hitchcock?
Yeah, that's
Yeah?
super fun. Not
Yeah,
creepy
you
at
can
all.
go where that was filmed.
Yeah, that is in Bodega Bay in California.
Wow. Interesting.
So lots of places. Heck, you could go to where the TV show Friday Night Lights was filmed, right? Like
There you
5 miles
go.
away, because it's
Yeah, right down the
Pflugerville, Texas.
And you could go to Seal, where they've filmed a couple of
Chainsaw,
movies.
Texas Chainsaw Murders, and all.
Massacre, yeah.
Massacre, yeah.
Texas Chainsaw
Man, that's
Massacre.
right.
That's right down the road. A
Yeah.
lot of things filmed around here that are
Notable.
notable.
The Burger Shop from Sling Blade. You can go see that.
Ooh.
It's in Arkansas.
That would be fun. I mean, maybe you
Dead
could just.
Poets Society.
Oh, that yeah.
The place where Tony Montana lived.
Tony
Say
Montana.
hello to my
Scarface.
little friend.
Oh.
I mean, those places would be kind of, I don't know. I
know.
think it would be cool.
So yeah,
Jurassic Park? Lost World?
Hawaii.
What?
Sorry.
Where
yes,
is it?
of course, Hawaii.
So you might need to rent an RV over there.
Yeah. It's a different kind
wait,
of trip.
stop.
Okay.
In Preston, Idaho, you can go to the house where Napoleon Dynamite was.
Oh, goodness. I could pass.
I think, Lindsay, you should do that this year.
Gosh, but my lips hurt real bad.
Yes, they're so chapped.
You should take your trailer off. Some sweet jumps.
Yes. You ever taken off any sweet jumps? Oh my God. I want to go see the Napoleon Dynamite house and just throw some casserole at a llama.
What?
It's your dinner, Tina.
I think we need to move on from the movie one.
Okay, sorry.
Oh, no.
There's a reason I had that list. That was good.
Yeah, okay, but I would like to say there probably are some really great places for some iconic movies that you could look up. Even if you're just traveling through there, it could be like an extracurricular thing.
Okay, what if you have just one movie and you're just like, I just want to do this summer, I want to go camp in that area and see all the sights from that one movie. And maybe that one movie is Sleepless in Seattle.
And then you pull up the screen at night at your campsite and you show it on a sheet against the wall of your camper and have movie night.
Yeah.
I wonder where Empire Records was filmed.
Lindsay,
Probably on a set.
yeah, no, I don't know. I bet it's in real location. You're gonna have to look it up. But
Do you think
everybody,
it's a real record store?
I bet so. Hey, okay, so everyone who's listening to this podcast, we're recording this on April. We're on April 6th. Lindsay, in 2 days, Lindsay, what is that day? Everyone needs to know because Lindsay wants everyone to know.
It's Rex Manning Day.
Tell us more.
We mustn't dwell.
Oh,
Not on Rex Manning Day.
everybody, Lindsay's
Rex
about to
Manning
give you
Day.
the reference.
Which, it's from Empire Records. It's a ridiculous made up musician. that is the center of this ridiculous movie that takes place in a record store. And it's always been one of my favorites. But I figured out Rex Manning Day is April 8th, which is also the day that they found Kurt Cobain, which is not a coincidence. They made Rex Manning Day the same day they found Kurt Cobain, but it's not the day Kurt Cobain died. Kurt Cobain died on the 5th. They just didn't find him until the 8th, which is ugh. But it was, so it's like the day that grunge music died or whatever. So that's why they made it like that. I don't know. I just thought that was interesting. But we celebrate it as Rex Manning Day.
Why are we here?
This is an RV
Cut this
small
out,
talk
Clint.
Hey,
podcast.
did you know that Rex Manning is the name of our printer?
Yes.
In the office?
Yes.
I did know that.
He's the most handsome printer in all the land.
I don't know
of
why.
handsome and beautiful.
Thank you.
What about lighthouses?
Okay.
I mean, they're like big towers that shine light. What's so great about a lighthouse, right? Have you ever stood next to a lighthouse?
Lighthouses are super cool.
It's flippin' magical.
I have to feel like that's the feeling someone like, I don't want to say 5 foot tall feels standing next to me.
But it's kind of like that.
How is it, PJ?
It's kind of like that.
How is it?
So what do you have a list
Taking a
there?
lighthouse tour
Store?
would be really cool. Mississippi, Massachusetts, California, North Carolina, Connecticut. Ooh, that one's pretty.
And a lot of times there's a house next to it. And many times that house is now a museum. You get to walk through the house.
Yeah.
You get to learn about the people that took care of the lighthouse.
Right.
Sometimes they were there their whole life.
And they actually somehow
whole life.
managed to have incredible stories.
Yes,
Yeah.
and great stories that go along with it. The lighthouses that I visited were fascinating. It's a whole story in and of itself.
You know, I'm not seeing Texas on this list.
I didn't print the whole list. There's a couple left in Texas.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I was totally joking. I didn't think there were
There's
any
a couple
lighthouses
left,
in
but-
Texas. That's
but
silly.
We don't have the big tourist draw lighthouses.
No, I was kidding. I didn't think there were any lighthouses
Because
in
we
Texas.
come in on a Gulf, not on the ocean.
Oh, but we had our shipwrecks. We had our share of shipwrecks.
Oh yeah. Well, if you wanted to tour shipwreck places, we could
We had
certainly
those.
Okay, let me try again.
contribute.
You know, I don't see Colorado on this list.
Thank goodness. Thank goodness. That would be a lonely lighthouse.
Let me try again.
Pointless.
But I think that would be fun. Yeah, kind of towards the history.
Now, PJ, you actually had a list coming off the history part of this was something about presidents and where they camped.
Where they camped or where they
Not
lived?
camped. You're right. No. Where
How
they
do we
lived is
know
one-
where presidents camped?
No, better. I had that wrong. It's
Presidents camp?
Yes.
Well, I have
Teddy
the list.
Roosevelt.
Would you like for me to tell you?
Yeah, I think it. Yeah, go ahead. Tell me. Say thanks.
We're being manic today.
Well, you know what?
You
Off
ready?
topic
You ready?
is our specialty.
You ready?
It's my 4th cup of coffee.
I didn't hear your breath, Clint.
I'm waiting to exhale.
Breathe with it.
Oh no!
All right. Tell us about
Is
presidents.
everyone still with us? I can't imagine. Well, I have a cool list of getaways. Where did presidents go to just go somewhere else? And
Do you mean it wasn't always just Camp David?
apparently not.
Camp White House?
Camp White House, we hold you in our heart.
I'm not going to finish it because PJ will look at me like this.
Oh, you can't. Oh, I'm sorry. It printed really small, didn't it?
So what he's telling you is the old lady can't read the sheet. So I'm passing it over,
man.
which is okay. Hey,
Which you would see if you're watching on
Yeah.
YouTube.
I will bring my glasses to the next night.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you, I pulled this from nationalgeographic.com and their travel article, Where the U.S. Presidents Went on Vacation. Again, that'll be a link in the show notes, but let me see if I have a few of these. Lincoln's Hilltop Summer Retreat is where some of his most critical decisions of the Civil War were made.
a
Coolidge.
decision-making spot.
Yeah, Calvin Coolidge would like to go and retreat in South Dakota. Hoover would like to go. Says the mountains in the Blue Ridge Mountains. So this is FDR's trips would be in Georgia. So you could go to these places and tour them and all that, but you can camp really close by and kind of have a very similar experience. And you can reflect on these guys who carried the weight of a country and sometimes the world on the shoulders.
I feel like this is a very dad road trip.
Yes.
But you know what? There are people who really love history. And, you can always do
The Civil War
tour
locations.
and the Revolutionary War locations. But
I just don't.
But
I don't know if I
presidential
could do that.
eras, I think that's interesting. And maybe there is a couple of different things in that area that you could visit. Certainly, if you came to this area, you could learn all about the 1960s. I had a drink the other night in the hotel where LBJ used to wait for his elections.
Right.
Then we have his ranch nearby and the wildlife area that is named after the Johnsons, Lady Bird,
and the whole museum,
the LBJ library.
Right.
I mean, so there is a lot. If you wanted to learn about that era, there's a lot right here.
Yeah.
And I suspect there's other areas like that too, where you could just pick.
You make a good point here.
president.
If you want to learn about an era, learn about the presidential things that happened in that era, because
That's
if
true.
you go to LBJ, you're going to learn a lot about civil rights time period stuff, a lot of the music that was happening then.
That's right.
Lots of cultural things happen, and you can sum them up or do a lot of research at presidential locations and libraries and museums and stuff like that. Absolutely. What a great way to learn history.
That's right. That's right. And sometimes that's what's more interesting to people rather than movies or barbecue.
Yeah. Very cool. All right, what do we got next?
Wars.
Well, okay, so I'm going to move over these quickly because we did mention these are really easy go-to trips, especially for dads and history buffs. But if you wanted to do a Civil War kind of summer or whatever, easy to do. I have a link. But you could also do a Revolutionary War kind of trip. And Lindsay's just making the stank face, stanky list. All right, get those out of here. Next one.
I just tell we're on vacation. Let's go learn about people killing each other. I don't know. History is very important, and I understand that. I'd rather eat barbecue.
Okay.
Maybe it's just me.
Would you rather eat fish?
No.
You will never
We can learn about wars.
You'll be a terrible pescatarian someday.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I would die. One that I thought was really cool and kind of a little bit different was 10 places for Native American vacation experiences with your family, which is something I wouldn't even think of.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And a lot of times they are experiences,
Yes.
right? Like you can see things and touch things and learn things, and it's all kinds of interactive. So there's the Red Earth Art Center and Red Earth Festival in Oklahoma City. I want to learn to dance and paint. Cherokee, North Carolina, Monument Valley Navajo Tribal Park in Arizona and Utah. Lots of Mesa Verde National Park. Man, we've been there. That place was cool.
It was super amazing.
I remember that so well.
Everyone needs to take young folks. I'm saying if they're 8 years old and up, they need to have on their schedule a trip to Mesa Verde.
I remember that place so well.
Yeah.
And it was really interesting. You only spend an hour there. I think we were there at least half a day.
Yeah.
But maybe you're only there an hour. But if you take a tour and the person explains to you what you're looking at, it is fascinating. And then everything that you see around you after that for the next 3-4 days has that relation to the native.
And there's a whole lot of how the
history.
heck did they
How
come
did
up
they
this
do
and
this?
it? And then how the heck did they disappear? There's also that aspect of it. They just gone.
Yes.
The last place on this list, definitely worth noting, is the National Museum of the American Indian in Washington, D.C. So probably a good place to go. But that would be a cool little themed road trip because it's fun, it's educational, takes you to different parts of the country, and you can eat barbecue while you do it.
Yeah.
Even if you just go to one of those areas, I think I might hesitate to do it, especially with children, because I wouldn't know quite what I'm getting into.
Yeah.
Because I don't know anything about it. But they're really geared towards families visiting.
Yeah.
And they have events that you can join in on all throughout
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
day.
That's what they thrive on, is like
Right.
the whole family. coming.
Yes.
Can I just say some of the best family moments and conversations come from families showing up in places the parents aren't ready for?
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You show up in a place and the parent is like, I have not studied up on this. I don't know what my kid's going to be exposed to. And, I guess we're diving in. And it turns into, honestly, some of the most real moments, real conversations, real depth
Yes.
and best memories, because because there's some control that has to be let go of. And the questions that you're going to get because they're kids,
You may not be able to answer immediately.
Right.
But if you don't know everything, you're learning right along with your kids. It's a culture you're maybe not intimately familiar with. So, but they provide you with all the activities. And I think the next thing that parents might worry about is, would my kids be bored? They're just going to be bored. It's just going to be lectures and demonstrations. Kids are fascinated.
Yeah.
And when you go to those locations where they have really geared to teach you about their culture,
the kid will find their thing.
and there's interactive kid things. I mean, there's things specifically for kids to do.
Right.
They get to be their own whatever, and they get to paint something, and they get to decipher the hieroglyphics, or they get to understand what it was like going up and building a fire and why they built it here instead of there.
Or do
It's
the dance,
fun. Or
taught
learn the
by
dance.
someone who can explain this dance means something.
Yeah, it is. I just don't want anybody to shy away from that idea because of some preconceived notion. Everybody should check that out, and I am really sad that I did not do that when my kids were little. I think it's an amazing experience, and it can be a great 1 week vacation.
Sure. Awesome. Okay. What else do we have? Lindsay, what if someone wanted to do just a music and art festival summer?
Oh my gosh. You'd never come home. There's like so much.
Yeah. Well, I think if you picked a genre, like this summer it's my, I don't know.
Death
Summer
metal?
Then you really might never come home.
Summer of death metal. Don't do that to yourself.
Is that you said pick a genre?
Can you imagine that?
Pick another one.
Okay, you know what? Maybe you need to at least do one stop of death metal and death metal art.
And death metal art. Like metal things that are broken and welded
I feel
back
like
together.
that would be all axes and and swords,
jagged.
and
Spikes.
Oh,
like
but I mean,
Game of
there's
Thrones,
a bajillion music festivals. We just did a podcast a few weeks ago about how to camp at a music festival, some tips and tricks, and some different music festivals. So if that sounds like it's up your alley, you should go listen to that and see schedule around those. Most of those are early summer and then like late summer.
Yeah, going into the fall.
I think they figured out that middle of the summer is a bad idea.
Hot is hot.
In Texas it is. But wouldn't it be fun to do like, okay, this summer I'm going to do one jazz festival, I'm going to do one
I don't know, soul.
rock and roll festival,
Yeah,
one
Reggae
maybe bluegrass,
festival.
one reggae. I mean, a little of
Electric
everything.
dance music.
Maybe. Maybe. I don't know. I don't think I would survive the electric forest, but I would give it a shot.
Do you think that the right time to do midsummer, the right place to do midsummer music and art festivals is actually Canada?
What?
Do you think? I wonder if they do like middle of summer.
Well, but their summer is only probably 2 to 3 months long.
But if it's in the middle of the part that you don't want to be doing one in the States, then maybe if you just keep going north, you can find one.
I guess. Can you get into Canada now?
Yeah.
Easily?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just poke holes in the box and a little food. And
All right, moving on. My goodness, antiquing.
antiquing.
Yeah, I could get down with that one.
I could do an entire week of antiquing.
Yeah, but there's locations that are like known as.
Would
So
Round
where are
Top
they?
be one of them?
It's got to be. It's got to be.
Yes.
But I don't know if it's on the list.
lady.
Remember, I
Sorry.
didn't print the whole list though because they're really long.
And real tiny. Millerton, New York.
Yeah. So this list comes from Photos.com, and it's this is a 10 best
Antiquing towns.
Yes.
Adamstown, Pennsylvania. I can't say these. Galena, Illinois. Oh, that's vintage.
Wouldn't it be? I mean,
Hazel, Kentucky.
are there
She's
couples
vintage,
who
too.
both love to antique though? Usually it's one maybe more than the other.
No. You just got to find yourself a house of hoarders. And they all love antiquing.
Yeah, I mean, don't you and Dad both love antiquing?
Yeah, some
but
more
Just
than
look
others.
for different
Yeah, you
stuff.
just look for different
Yeah,
stuff.
he looks
Like
for left-handed mannequins.
Mannequins
Whole other
and
story.
giant iron T-Rexes, and you look for other boring stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Well, maybe I'm the boring one.
I didn't say that. I
My
said-
stuff generally fits in the car. Okay.
I didn't
His
say
stuff
you were boring.
generally does not.
So, and that's just another thing. We're talking to RVers, and they're like, "Wait, but how do I get this home?" Antique people, they know how to ship stuff. If you buy
Yeah,
it,
they're in the
they can ship
business
it.
of.
Yeah, well, he's now in the market for a phone booth. So I really don't think antiquing in Connecticut is where to do that. But Round Top, maybe.
Yeah. and So, is he a fan of Doctor Who?
No, he is just,
He just wants a phone booth.
he just wants a phone booth in his backyard.
Where's
I
the
don't know what to
mannequin
tell you.
supposed to make all her important phone calls to the T-Rex?
Well, it's got to be hard to dial that phone if you got two left hands. I don't know.
I don't know how lefties do it.
I don't either.
Yeah, how do they dial phones? All right. I want to talk about my places
She wouldn't
I
fit in a
found.
phone booth anyway.
Really?
She's sitting down.
You can sit down in phone booths. They have little benches.
I guess some of them did.
Is this a sitting only mannequin? Like it's not
Well,
able to
it
be
is not a movable mannequin.
No.
movable. Oh,
And she's like, she's sitting, but her legs aren't like fully down. They're like out a little bit. So she
Okay.
does take up a lot of room.
well, she doesn't have to close the door. You just put a little.
She
stool in
doesn't
there.
have to close the
She
door.
doesn't have to close the
But
door.
she could sit on top of the phone booth.
She could.
All right. Problem solved. All right, moving on. Sorry.
I don't know where we are anymore.
All right. I think there's also just some quick flybys because we're starting to run long. Some other ideas I had were just education-based trips. Maybe you just make a summer of museums visits, or maybe even you're into university campuses. Because I'll tell you, every time I'm on an old university campus, something in the air just feels different. It's the old buildings; they're usually well taken care of. There's history there. You can feel
Dork.
it. I love it. Coastal beach tour that kind of goes along with the seafood tour. Rocky or Smoky Mountain specific summers where you just travel up or down depending on where your starting point is.
Learning a new skill.
Yeah, maybe it's the summer of fly fishing and you go to different locations, but you also take different classes. You know,
So what would be a hobby like that you could like set your sights on doing this summer that you've never done before? I mean, fly fishing is one of them. That is something people learn. You can sign up for classes and then learn the places
Yeah.
to go in a certain area.
maybe you
but
actually want to
what
get
else?
good at kayaking, or maybe you want to get good at mountain biking. There's some great places all over with great instructors and all that. Everything. Heck, I would, since I'm getting into off-road motorcycling and all that, there's schools all over the U.S. in fantastic locations for adventure and off-road motorcycling. And you get to go to these places, camp there, and take a couple day class.
And can you start from nothing?
Absolutely.
Do they give you a motorcycle?
You can rent a motorcycle.
Okay. We need to make a list of hobbies you can learn from like 0.0.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
that's the catch. I
Okay,
always think, well,
well,
I
here's
can't
the
do
deal.
that. I don't know anything about
Here's the
motorcycles.
deal. Believe it or not, every hobby can be learned from 0.0.
Well, maybe, but can you go on vacation?
Can you do it
and
with two left
that?
hands?
I bet you can.
Sitting down?
with a little bit of research and work
In
you
a
can.
phone booth.
Okay. Well,
Also,
no.
she's naked.
Okay. That's another hobby you can start from zero, but that's not.
You have to start that one from zero.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Moving along.
Yeah, but very cool. I would like to see that list of hobbies because this podcast was about thinking outside the box
Yeah.
and learning to
And
think about
now
things
we're
in a different way.
thinking-
And now we're thinking, okay, if I'm going to learn a hobby, what I don't know anything that I know anything about.
Okay.
So,
All right. I got you a hobby for this summer.
okay.
Okay. Your hobby this summer is from zero hang gliding.
No.
Yes.
But you could teach me crossbows. Did y'all know how good Clint is?
I don't do crossbows.
Not crossbows.
Just any bow. Yeah, whether it be traditional or compound, I'll teach you that.
Compound bow. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have people here in the dealership that are learning that. But is that a way? Probably not a good vacation.
That are
Sure.
learning that.
Sure. You can totally do that as a vacation. Yeah. Okay. Everybody, the big deal here is that you can have an angle to help inform your trip planning. You can have an angle that really helps you and your friends, your family, your travel partner to really make the best of it and maybe even have an easier time while you're Googling and making those reservations.
Well, I'm inspired to try some new things. I'm not quite sure what yet, but I
It
think,
won't be a crossbow.
yeah.
No, but I think maybe a pepper tour. Go find all the regional best peppers, the habanero, the green chilies, and all that.
No,
you can do it.
I could do it. That I could not do every day.
Maybe a salsa tour.
But yeah, I mean, inspired to think of something else to just learn about, investigate, or enjoy.
Yeah.
So I'm inspired.
I'm trying to think.
Maybe a thinking tour.
Oh no.
I want to do like an embroidery tour and go see the world's greatest embroidery stuff and take classes.
Yeah.
Not really an outdoorsy thing, but I can take it and sit outside and do it.
Yeah. You can do it.
Heck yes.
I'm sure that's out there somewhere.
Ooh, I'm so excited.
All right. We're going to mix that with her electric dance music tour. Embroidering
Boots
to
and
death
cats
metal.
and boots and cats and boots and cats.
There's a contest out there that is death metal. That's like it's a real contest of death metal knitting.
What?
I've seen death metal yoga.
Yeah, and you win prizes for being the best. I don't know. Okay, everybody,
I don't know.
thank you for joining us for this. Who knows what this is? Exciting episode.
We say that every week.
Yeah.
Who knows what just happened?
We don't.
We'll see you next week.
Yeah.
For who knows what will happen.
Don't forget to check out the show notes for this episode at rvsmalltalk.com or join us at the community group on Facebook, which is the RV Small Talk Community Group. You can also catch us on YouTube because we're starting to video these things and put them out so you can see us talking on the microphones. Just look for RV Small Talk on YouTube.
Because we
Anything else?
have a place to video it now.
We do.
Yeah, that is so exciting. We have like a bigger office
And a big blue
And
wall.
3 chairs and,
and
a
big blue
table.
wall. Yes, we are officially back to being the Blue Room.
Still a work in progress, but we are
Yep.
getting there.
Well, you'll get to see our work in progress on YouTube if you care to.
Yeah. Lindsay, you got the whole rate and review pitch.
Oh, yeah. You know, if you listen to our podcast and enjoy it or don't enjoy it, go to Apple Podcasts, rate and review us. It really helps it put it out there for other people to find us so we can spread this information to everybody.
Yeah, and we recognize that not everyone is an Apple user. We totally get that, and we affirm your choices. Absolutely. It's just that Apple Podcasts is the only place where you can review and it somehow makes a difference.
Algorithms, people.
Algorithms. But if you are listening on any other app, Spotify, iHeart, Stitcher, Google Play, whatever it is, you can still subscribe to the podcast and make sure that it serves you up our latest hot bit of podcastage every time we put it out there.
Man, we had a lot of housekeeping today, but thanks for listening through it.
We're going to get to other important things here and record again next week. So, from RV Small Talk Podcast, thanks. Bye.
Bye-bye.